Good evening, everybody from South Africa. You're joined by me, Tina Snell, again for this evening's edition or episode of Velospitty Speed Talk. Our episode today is called The Toy Boys, and the reason for that being that we will be interviewing Leonard and Barend du Toit, two South African brothers who had spent a good few months in Europe, chasing their international motocross dreams. They've been racing in the Dutch Championships, the Open Dutch Championships. They left mom and dad and friends and dog and goldfish and chicken at home and set off to Holland. This was, of course, before the coronavirus struck in all its ferocity. And then they went and spent 8 months in Holland. Before we get them in on the conversation, we will play a little video clip of Leonard and Barend just to introduce you to the two boys and give you an idea of what they were up to.
Hey, it's Adam from Wake to Wonder, and I just want to say good luck to Leonard and Barend du Toit for the European Championships. Kill it, guys.
Stay
Well, there you have it. The song was The Need by South African rockers Wake to Wonder. The vocals handled by golden-voiced Adam Boyd, a good friend of ours and also a good friend of motocross. In fact, we had taken Wake to Wonder on tour to Europe in 2011. They played at several international races, at an ADAC or an ADAC Masters race in Germany, at the GP in Latvia, and also at some events in Estonia. So that is also part of our objective, that is to combine the music with the motocross. While we're waiting to get our guests online, just sorting out one or two technical hassles, let us just go through a little bit of channel news. We had a special day today because just a few months after starting the Youth Force Racing Group, we hit 1,000 members today, and our 1,000th member was a very special one. It's a young South African musician, Ruanel, no relation, of whom we will hear a bit more in later editions. He's a rocker at heart, a 13-year-old that knows his way around a guitar and around a microphone. And then just to get to some racing news, just to recap, we've got a massive racing weekend coming up. We've got the third of the triple header of the GP in Italy at Mantova coming up. In the MXGP class, our friend Tim Geiser is leading the championship still. And then we have also the FIM Repsol CEV Junior World Championship road racing in Spain. One of our group members, Xavi Artigas, a young Spaniard, is leading that championship. And he also had big news last week. He'd been signed by the Leopard team for a Moto3 World Championship campaign next year. So great news indeed for Xavi. And Xavi, of course, had a magnificent debut. He had a wildcard GP debut last year as a 16-year-old. He was leading the GP and he actually finished third in his debut GP. So that's pretty good going. And then over in Germany, we have the final round of the ADAC MX Masters. And there we also have great group news. Two of our very, very young members, Freddie Bartlett and Frederick Raan Stamper, have gotten an entry for the 85cc class. Now, they are only 11 years old, both of them, but they are racing in a class which has riders of up to 15 years of age. It's a huge step for both of them, and we wish them all the very, very best at this big event. And then in South Africa, very close to home, we have the inland motocross at Dirt Bronco, very, very close from here, within easy bicycle distance from where we're broadcasting right now. We're still just battling to get our guests online. While we figuring that out with them, we will just run you through their promo video once again, and then hopefully we'll be able to start with our interview.
Hey, it's Adam from Wake to Wonder, and I just want to say good luck to Leonard and Barend du Toit for the European Championships. Kill it, guys.
every breath I'm crawling closer to you. When I need to stray away from this life, yet I need to say right, I need you to hold on to shut the darkness. I need you to stay strong. It's killing me. I'll be this is the end. And when I do, with you I will ascend. Need to find my way. I'm getting closer today. Every breath just draws me closer to you. I need to break these chains that hold me back from you. The darkness gone, I'm stumbling towards you. When I need to stay away from this life, yet I need to say right, I need you to say no, so I can falter. I need you to stay strong. It's killing me. I'll be this in the end. And when I do, you I will say,
All right, guys, there we finally have you, Leonard and Barend. Welcome. Thank you for joining us on Velospitty Speed Talk. Can you hear me? Hi, guys. How are you doing? How is it back in South Africa?
Good.
Can you hear me?
We can't hear you. No. No, yeah.
Can you hear me now? Okay. How's it to be back in South Africa?
Yeah, it feels good. It's nice.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. All right. Now, you spent 8 months in Europe. Just tell us what happened during the last 8 months that you've been away from home.
How was it? Yeah. It was nice. It was nice. It was a good experience.
Good experience. Okay, so Leonard, you were South African 85cc champion last year, and then for this year you moved to the 125cc class. Is that right?
Yeah.
And how was it for you to go onto the bigger bike? How quickly did you adjust to the bigger bike?
I was riding a 125 already, so I was used to it already. I got to my first 125 at 14.
Okay, so you'd had some time on the 125, and Barend, you stayed on 85 for this year for the championship, right?
Yeah. I was an 85 rider, and yeah.
All right. Now you went to Holland, which has a very, very tough championship. People maybe don't know it, but the Dutch championship, the riders that are there are very good at what they do, which is racing in deep sand. So how was it for you to go and race against those guys in the deep sand where they're very good?
It was hard, but it was fun. The tracks were nice and deep. Some had nice jumps, and yeah.
All right, and you, Leonard, you had some. I mean, the opposition is tough. I mean, some of the top European guys also race in Holland, isn't that?
Yeah, no, Kees Kassenmacher, all of the guys were there. Some weren't cars. Not like all the fast guys were there.
Yeah, Kay Kassemak is, of course, one of the top European guys. And you, Barend, you would have raced against somebody like Bradley Mesters, who's not just fast in Holland, he's fast in European terms. In fact, he won also the first ADAC race in Germany.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Now, you had you also met a very special lady there, Lotte van Drienen, who everybody in the world is talking about because she is truly fast, not girl fast, but fast. She's in fact she won the first round of the championships on the 85, isn't it?
Yeah, she's quite fast, but yeah, it's hard to ride with how they ride.
Right. Now, in preparing for the season, obviously you had a long time that you didn't race because the races were cancelled for the first part of the season. So, how did you spend the time up till then to prepare for the season?
It was more, we did a lot of training off the bike, and we always rode Sunday and Saturday, and yeah, and we always trained off the bike training in the week.
All right, and tell me about the team. You stayed with a family in Holland, whose team it also was. So tell us a little bit about that.
It was nice staying there. Very nice people. We had a lot of fun times there, and yeah,
it was very nice experience. People were all nice. Everybody's nice there. We did fun things. We went swimming. They went swimming with us. We went to a big church to go look there. We went riding, and we went to riding some boats, and we did so much fun things there. It was nice. It was.
And you made a lot of friends with riders in the Netherlands and also in Belgium, correct?
We didn't make too many friends because we were more focused on riding and that we were making friends.
Mm.
But yeah,
but you met. I mean, you met a lot of the other riders at the track and at training.
Yeah, we see them at the track and training, and yeah.
All right. Now Leonard, you're a big fan of Jeffrey Herlings, and Barend, maybe you of Jorge Prado or whatever. Did you manage? Now the big thing about going to Europe as opposed to training here is when you go to Europe, you go to a track like Lommel or whatever, or Veldhoven or whatever, and you see they're there, they're training, so you can actually see those guys. Did you see any of the top GP guys riding and training?
Yes, we saw. At the UN car, I saw Calvin Verlanderen, and I was talking to him. Very nice guy. Very, very nice guy. We saw Tanya Caroli and Jorge Prada. We saw Monticelli and Goldenhoff. We saw Jeffrey Herlings at what's the track's name?
Bergen, yeah.
Well, at Bergen we saw Jeffrey Herlings, and at the other track.
All right. Yeah. Now, of course, for the information of our viewers, you speak of Calvin Vlaanderen. He's a South African that's gone over. He now rides actually for Holland. He rode for the Netherlands in the Motocross of Nations last year, and they actually won the Motocross of Nations. Tony Cairoli is a 9-time world champion, so you don't get much better than that. Jeffrey Herlings, of course, also a multiple world champion, and Jorge Prado is 19 years of age and a double world champion, and already had won a GP in the MXGP class, you know. So these are very, very, very special riders. So tell us a bit about your bikes that you were racing on in this series.
They were good. They were fast. Hij zei weg.
And what bike did you rode? A Husqvarna, Leonard and Barend. You rode a KTM, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now your dad and uncle own a motorcycle a shop here in South Africa. Just tell us a little bit about that business.
It's quite nice, and we moved to a new building, and it looks like it's going good now. And yeah, it's nice to have something to go. Yeah. Have.
Nice to have.
Yes, of
something
course,
to
because
relate to
it's nice when your dad has a dealership. What is the name of the company?
Sorry.
Can you hear me?
You broke up. again.
I say, what is the name of the business that your dad has?
It's Raceworks, KTM, and Husqvarna Waste, and his Moto Gear.
Okay, so it's Raceworks, KTM, and Husqvarna. Now, for the rest of the year, next year, obviously, you guys are going to stay with KTM and Husqvarna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And what classes will you ride? Will you stay in the 125, Leonard?
No.
You're going to go 250?
Yeah, 250 or yeah.
All right. Have you ridden much on the 250 already?
I got a 250 before I went. I put 25 hours on, and now I got a new one, and I only have 1.5 hours on it, so not too many hours.
All right. And how do you like the bike?
It's a bike. It's nice to ride.
Is it much different from your 125 in power and the way? Because now it's a 4-stroke. It's a different kind of power. It's a little bit heavier.
No, it's like my 125 in Europe is strong. It's fast, it's strong. It's the same with the 250. When you take it, it goes at once, and you just need a jump to work it.
And Barend, you've also made the jump. You're going to the 125 now from the 85, correct?
Yeah. I actually rode today again on the 125. I had some nice time to play around on the track, and
All right.
it was nice to ride again and have learn in South Africa again. Yeah.
All right. And which track did you ride at today?
I rode at Rhino Park and Chestnut.
All right. And when do you guys plan to have your first race on your bigger bikes?
We're not sure. Maybe.
This weekend, hopefully. We just need to convince our mom.
Yeah, that's always the mom convincing. That's the big job. Now, you spent a lot of time in Holland. Did you pick up a bit of Dutch? Did you learn to speak a bit of Dutch? Which it's similar but not the same as Afrikaans. It's a more complicated language than Afrikaans.
Yeah, we can understand some of it, and we can follow. We just can't speak really. It's just yeah.
All right. And your teammate Rob, how was it to work with him?
He's very nice guy. He was like a brother to us, you know. At the end, it was yeah.
So yeah, it was, you know, because it's difficult to move away from home, from your parents and everybody, but it's at least it's good when you're there and you're with somebody who's like family to you. I mean, we had that similar situation with my team where I had the team and riders came from South Africa and other countries, 13, 14 years old, no parents with them, anything, you know. And I know it's a difficult situation, and the riders get homesick after a while. Now we get to your races. You started late in the season, And Leonard, your season didn't start off well. Your first race in the Open Dutch Championship was a disaster for you. So tell us a bit about that.
Now in practice, I didn't shift and I burnt the coil of the yarn coil. Burnt the coil and then the bike just first started first mile. I heard a noise on sighting laps. They started and crashed and it actually good. And then boom, bike went no power, went to the pits or a pit lane and then just pushed all the way to the pits and then get it out and was supported my teammate Barend,
Yeah, so basically, you got taken out in the start straight. I saw that, and and that was basically your first event done. You couldn't do the second race, so your first race in the Open Dutch Championship was, I don't know, 100 meters long. So that's not a good way to start. But Barend, your first race was okay. You had a couple of top tens. So tell us about your day.
I started off in practice, and I felt good on the track, and the track was um, rougher than I thought it was gonna be in practice. And then first heat it was good. I had some had some good lines and worked my way through. I had a bad start though, but in the second heat I got a bad start again, and then I worked my way through again, and yeah, it was quite nice.
So what did you finish overall for the day?
Eighth.
Eighth overall. All right. Now, then you had your team at other things, and you missed the second round of the Open Dutch, but you went to a race in Nederweert, and there, Leonard, that was your day because you actually won your class that day. So how was it there?
It was nice actually. It was 450s, 250s, 125s all together. I managed like the first mile I didn't get a good start and then managed to get to fifth. Mm, managed to get to fifth and what do you call it? And then managed on typical on the track to fifth and then I was riding like just the big bikes they were fast pulling out of the corners and stuff. And then
Right.
second mile was much better. I got much better because I was first mile I stood inside the whole time because of the 125. It's not as fast. You want the shortest line. And then second mile, no one was almost standing on the inside, so I got a better start. And yeah, turned going in. I think I was 11th, and I went all the way to fourth. And then a 252 stroke was ahead of me, and I wanted to jump to the outside over this thing, and I just landed into the bump, and my wrist slipped off, and then I fell. And I was in fifth again, and then yeah, from fifth I went back to fourth, but I was leading my class both marathons from the beginning.
So you were fourth of all the bikes, 250s, 450s, but your class, the 125 class, you won. Then we get to the second Open Dutch Championship, and there, Leonard, you opened your score in this championship with also with a pair of top 10 finishes. So how was that day for you?
Pardon, which one?
The second Open Dutch Championship after you rode in Nederweert. So when you rode the Open Dutch Championship and you got some points.
Yeah. I was always stressed on the Dutch Championships, very stressed, and then I managed to. First, I crashed again in the start, just my luck, But then I got all the way to I think seventh, just pushing through the moto, and then second moto I what do you call it? Got a better start, but then on the one there was guys in front of me, and I'm not used to having this much guys next to you on this one hill. And some people came past, and then I went back to eighth. Yeah, because I went ninth over the line, but I just passed eighth going into the corner. Then I was eighth, and then on the whoops I went pop, last lap, he fell back. and I came 10th that moto.
All right. So a pair of top tens in a Dutch championship race is great. But Barend, you had a very, very special race in your second race. So tell us about that one now.
Yeah, the second was nice. I got a good okay start. I was like 14th, and then I worked my way through to, I think, fourth, and yeah, it was nice riding. But the first moto was I crashed twice, so that wasn't nice.
Yeah, but still, your first motor was good. You crashed in the start. You came from, if I look at the lap chart, you came from 32nd to 15th, which is which is very, very good going. And then, as you say, in the second motor, you finished fourth, which in Dutch championship terms, that's a great, great result. Now, I made an interesting calculation, Barend. You only did 2 of the 4 rounds, but if you look at your average points, if you had ridden the other 2 rounds with the same average points that you scored in the rounds that you did ride, you would have been 3rd or 4th in the championship. So I mean that must give you confidence for when you go back to Europe. Both of you, you know you can ride in the top 10 in international races.
Yeah, it's quite nice feeling. I got a lot of confidence off of that 4th place. I felt good there, and yeah.
All right. Now, have you guys made plans already for next year? What do you think you would like to do for next season? And hopefully we don't have a year like this again. All things being okay, what would your plans be?
No, we haven't had any plans. We first just enjoying the time with the family and everything. You know, just spend some time with Oma, Opa, everyone. And then maybe when next year starts, January, we'll start thinking maybe again of it, making plans and stuff.
Yeah, I guess the plans will have to be made a little bit earlier. I think Dad is already rolling around thinking of the plans, because those things take a lot of planning. For a rider, maybe not so much, but for the guys behind the team, it's a lot of planning. I imagine. But any case, so now, having had that international experience, how do you compare racing internationally to when you raced in South Africa?
It's different. The tracks are very different. There's a lot more riders when you come into the start. It's harder to get to the front, and yeah.
I find it like just the start's different, and then the track just gets a little bit rougher, and it's a little bit wider. Otherwise, I think that especially the nice tracks was the same.
Yeah, but what Barend said, and this is what we said in a previous interview as well, with Neil van der Vyver, is you go to Europe, and now suddenly, here in South Africa, and I've been visiting races, and it's great to see there's lots of enthusiasm, and so, but at top level riding in Europe, you come to a track, and there are 40 riders that are really, really fast. You get riders that get to a track that don't qualify for the race. They have to go home because they didn't qualify to race. Were you nervous going into the races, worrying about qualifying and so?
No, because of the corona, everybody qualified, they said. So it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, yeah, because there are less riders. Yeah. Yeah. And what did you expect when you went to the first race? Did you have an idea? Could you see, for instance, during practices at tracks before the races, could you see more or less how fast you were, or did you have no idea where you were?
No. Before you get off, you have no idea, because everybody goes 1 lap fast, 1 lap slow, 1 lap fast, 2 lap fast, 1 lap slow. So you don't know you don't know if everybody's going the same day, racing speed the whole time, then you can calculate your speed. But
yeah, but I'm sure if you went before the races started, I mean, when you were still training at Bergen or tracks like that, your team manager would have said to you, yeah, that rider, you would watch the other riders as well, and he would say that rider is perhaps a top 10 rider, and your speed is more or less like him. That is how, when we took riders overseas, how we kind of judged to try and see where we were, because it's always good to have that information so that you can give your rider the right information. Because, for instance, in a race where you have to qualify, you say now there were less than 40 riders, so everybody qualified. But if you have to qualify and maybe 80 or 100 riders arrive, then you've got to tell your rider, okay, if halfway through qualifying you're not in, you better follow that rider, a rider that's 2 seconds faster, so that you can get a lap in and qualify. Now, speaking of that, did you learn something of other riders by watching them or following them or riding with them on the track there?
I learned just like they're all calculated, the decisions what lines they make.
Yeah.
I learned
Yeah.
that they're very smooth. I saw Jorge Prado pass me one time, and he was standing in the corner, and he sits late, and he stands straight up again and goes through the corner, and he has a very smooth line like this.
Yeah, lines, especially in deep sand, lines are very important, and especially with smaller bikes, 2 strokes, to maintain your momentum, to take sweeping lines through the corners and so on. And of course, what you mentioned, to stand up, because those tracks get really, really rough, and you have to make your legs work for you, become part of your suspension, actually, on the bikes. Did you ever get the opportunity of riding some hard tracks as well in Europe, or was it only sand?
Barend, no, but me for sure, because I did the UNK, and it was very like a hard packed track. It wasn't sandy track, so that was the only hard packed track I did, and Barend didn't do any. But yeah,
all right.
It's all just
okay, but
standing.
Barend, yes.
Yeah.
Barend, you had a different start to your international campaign, because before you joined Leonard in Holland, you did a supercross in England, in London. That was at Wembley, was it?
Yeah, that was in Wembley. Yeah, it was different. I felt like if we had another day of riding, then I would have done better. But because we only had the Saturday, because the Friday was cancelled. But I felt like I could have done a little bit better.
All right, and how did you perform? Because of course this was your very, very first supercross in your life.
Yeah, it was hard. The doubles what they had was too hard. You had to double through them, and I struggled with that. I was single all the way out. So and there was like a section where you had to jump onto a table, and then jump onto another table, and jump off, and then jump the double, and then that I struggled with that. So.
All right. Now, before we go, and we'll finish off in a minute, I'm just going to play another short video clip of you. This one is another Wake to Wonder song, but a far more calmer song. But this just shows some, not footage, but slides of you guys in action in your team clothing, and just see what memories this brings to you. All right, guys, so there's some memories for you. That was from just before the racing started, and you got your team clothing and everything like that. And now, if you race in South Africa, will you be wearing the same gear? Will the local guys be seeing your international gear, or will you have Raceworks clothing for South Africa?
We'll have Raceworks clothing.
Raceworks clothing. All right, guys. Well, thank you very, very, very much. I hope that we will see you at the race on the weekend. If not, we'll find another one. Are you planning to do? I think there's a double header of nationals at Bloemfontein in a few weeks' time. Would you plan to do those?
That's the one. We are planning.
All right.
That's if the race doesn't work out, that's the next race. And then
Okay,
I'm planning to do a Roof of Africa bronze, but it's just for me, because I like the enduro, and I want to do it for fun, you know.
Right. And you will you ride in the 250 and you in the 125, Barend, at the national?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see everything till the national, still in a couple of months.
All right. Okay, guys. Well, thank you very, very much. I appreciate you being here. And just before we leave, I just want to remind everybody or thank everybody again for the great, great, great support for the Youth Force Racing Group. We are at 1,000 members, as I said. Thank you to Dave Brug, my partner in Holland. He's been doing colossal work in helping us get this far. Thank you to everybody that's contributed a post or sent a photo or given me information or whatever. This is the group for everybody that loves racing. So if a motocrosser from South Africa meets another friend from Italy, or if a road racer and a motocrosser become friends, or if a musician joins the group and becomes friends with motocrossers, I'll be very, very happy. It is your group, so make it work for you. And with that, we'll sign off. Remember, big racing coming up on the weekend. We'll be streaming at least one of the ADAC races featuring one of our or some of our group members, and we will be streaming at least one of the Junior World Championship Moto3 races. So keep a lookout on the group for information on that and announcements. And with that, let's sign out, guys. Thank you very much. Do you want to say hi to anybody?
No, it's okay. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Okay,
Bye.
guys. And with that, we'll sign out from Youth Force Racing until our next edition.